Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about 1917, a movie by Sam Mendes based on World War One. The movie is really not really famous because it was released selectively, but it bagged almost all the prestigious awards, including the Academy Award for Cinematography. Why I love the movie was the kind of planning which was involved and the way it was executed at the end. So taking it as a case study to decode the whole design process of the same.
Let's begin with the blank sheet of paper and chart down all that we need. First of all, the idea, the concept. Here, the idea is to portray the role of a messenger in war situations. So, there are characters who have to travel from point A to B in given amount of time to deliver a message. In short, we need to portray or design a journey. As we break down this journey, we will start having the important elements we need for planning and execution. Let's note down all the key ingredients which create a journey. So, what is a journey first of all? It is a moment in time. And of course, when it is a journey, it needs to have a path. A journey is always unknown. We don't know what is going to happen whenever we start a journey. And the most important aspect is the experience of a particular journey. And all this can be done if you have a vision. So let's begin with defining all these 5 points in detail. There are always two types of movements: cyclical, where the events keep on repeating, and the other linear, where the whole event takes place one single time. In this particular case, the movement is linear as we have a start and an end point. The destination is already defined, and as per the task, it has to be a one-way movement. The only way is forward. There is no turning back. Everything is in motion, and time plays an important role here. If the time taken to complete the movement is short, there is not going to be much of a difference in the surroundings. But if the movement is for hours, there will be a subtle change as the day turns into evening and evening turns into night. Here, the defined time is 8 hours. The medium of the movement plays another important role as it is going to define the speed of the journey. Here, both the characters are on foot, thus, the speed of the movement and overall journey has to be slow and steady. Talking of speed, it majorly depends on the type of path that a person is traveling. The path in between these 2 points is something which needs to be designed or planned. The context here is a particular location in World War One, and thus the path to be covered is all landscape. It's in vast open exteriors, no interiors at all. To make it interesting, the whole path needs to be divided in smaller segments having different identity and experience of their own. Here comes the second most important aspect of designing any built environment, that is zoning. Different zones need to be designed with the character of their own, just like chapter of a novel. Each segment is separate yet connected with a common thread of the journey, so that once the journey is complete, you remember all the particular chapters and the journey itself. Interestingly, these segments work on two different parallel levels in this particular movie. In literal sense, the first level is the basic visual thing, the changing landscapes that we see. And the second level is the story itself. Thus, in changing landscapes, we have trenches, pits, abandoned bunker, the heaven-like landscape, the bridge, the abandoned city, the river, and the woods. So these are the zones, the chapters. Now I believe that the story is very well connected to these visuals on a conceptual level. To complement these, the story has been weaved tapping the right human emotions at each segment. Like for example, the trenches become the place where the task has been assigned, which is the comfortable territory. The wide pits show the real image and horrific aftermath of the war. The bunker confirms that the enemy has left traps behind. The heavenly landscape and old house becomes the resting place for Blake. Crossing over the broken bridge becomes the sign of determination. Then the abandoned city brings back the memories and care of a family at night. The river comes as a route of escape, and the pile of dead bodies as the most difficult step to take, and finally the woods, the ray of hope and peace, the sigh of relief. With all these connected together, add unprecedented, unexpected visuals on the top, and an award-winning design is ready. The brilliance is not in designing these segments individually only. The magic lies in weaving all the parts together to create a magnificent whole. Like a good novel, each chapter has its own identity and is equally contributing to create the whole book a marvelous piece. Now, here comes another important aspect of designing. To keep all these segments connected properly, we need transitions, very subtle and seamless transitions to mark the beginning and end of each segment. These are the breathing spaces where you get a chance to absorb what you have seen till now and get ready for the next adventure. These seamless transitions let the viewer enough space to grasp the true experience of the story by providing a continuous moment. On the other hand, these transitions can fail the project also if they are not effective enough to keep the viewer or user engaged. And now comes the question, how to keep someone engaged throughout the story. Suspense is the key to keep people engaged on a journey. Will the person reach the destination or not? Will he be able to find what he is seeking or not? Will he be able to complete the task even or not? Such questions are the essence of any journey, be it a normal mountain trek, an international travel, or even life. The stages of the whole journey, the destination, and the result, everything is unknown. Here, the story or the plot also plays an important role. How the events are unfolding in front of you creates a particular image in your mind. Here, the message has to be delivered. This is the information that we are provided with. Rest, everything is just the play of your expectations of the unknown. And because of the setting, a sense of fear has already been infused in your mind as well. So, while walking down the turns, entering in empty bunkers or abandoned spaces, there is a constant sense of unknown which keeps you on your toes. And this is where most of the other stories fail, because this is a very fine play of both suspense and revelation. There is a rhythm that needs to be followed. A certain amount of suspense resulting with proper revelation. That's the reward. If you got this rhythm right as a designer, it's all sorted and your audience is going to get a great experience for sure. In order to provide the viewer the similar experience as of the character, it is important for the viewer to follow the character in every sense. In other words, shadow the characters. The viewer should feel as if he or she is part of that journey too. This reminds me of what my professor used to say when we used to prepare architecture plans on sheets. Have you ever tried to see yourself as a third person? The core idea here was to visualize yourself as a third person and observe the way you interact with your own environment. If you do that correctly, then it becomes easy for you to design a space for someone else. This is the foundation of immersive experience. And the very first example I had in my life was when I used to play games like Delta Force and Medal of Honor as a child. This type of gameplay was very new and impactful for me, as it allowed me to be the character myself. The camera was shadowing the figure in the game also, and that took the entire experience to another level for me. Similar shadowing is achieved in the film, which made the experience completely immersive. The camera sticks to the ground almost always, follows the character, and even follows the topography, so that as the viewer you get the feel of being inside a pit or a trench, or when you are running down the track along with the character. This experience was remarkably projected by keeping the film as a single shot, which is actually a collection of many long shots stitched together. And that is done so well that you don't get a moment of distraction in between. You are there in the moment, breathing with the character. Achieving this in 2D cinema is much more than a commendable job. All this can be achieved only if you have a proper vision. Now, to achieve all this, the the director and his production team needs to have a complete vision of the events going to happen. It is like foretelling the future. What exactly is going to happen and how much time would it take? Here, Timing is the essence. You, as the designer or the creator, have to predict or define the future way before it actually happens. This implies to all creative fields, by the way. If you are designing for the future, you have to see the future yourself first. In this particular scenario, it is quite obvious to have a good planning, as the actors have to complete the scenes in given amount of time, and the camera team has to work hard as well while following the characters. But this pre-planning reaches another level in the scene when the character passes through the abandoned town at night. By far, this could be one of the best scenes I have ever seen in cinema. The lighting in this scene is done by smoke flares which glow for a limited amount of time, and keeping that in mind, the character has to sync his run. The time of the flare glow, the path of the flares, the path of the character, and the play of the shadows. Everything was designed beforehand, and this can only be achieved successfully if you have the whole team on the same page. If all of them are in proper sync, then such a project turns into a well choreographed performance which deserves a standing ovation.
This is how a journey is designed. If you are from any creative field, do watch this film once. And if you are an architecture student, just pick up any of your recent design problems and watch this video again. This is the whole design process that we need to follow while designing. I hope you like the way I am trying to decode the relation between architecture and cinema. If you do, please subscribe to the channel, and now you can also support Unplan on Patreon. The link for the same is below in the description. Thank you so much.